right, welcome to the Sunday Start. So I am, it's summer and things are turning around here. I can't believe how time is flying already. So we are June 15th, I believe, or later by the time you're getting this. And it is that is halfway through the month, which means we are 2 weeks away from being July 1st, which the implication of that is we are halfway through the year. So I am time is going fast and stuff is happening at a fast rate, but I like fast and I like cramming. I've crammed, actually in the last 6 months, I feel like I've crammed a ton of stuff into, and I love it because even though it seems like time's flying, at the same time, it's like if you can cram as much you can into that, it's like a lot of living in that time. So that's sort of exciting for me personally. But so we just finished yesterday our Boulders meeting, setting plans for the next 3 months, so the next quarter. So we'll roll those out to you guys in the July staff meeting with where we're going and what's going on. So that's always makes me think of how fast things going, because I just realized we're at the end of what we consider our quarter. So today's topic is what is trust. And so I guess that would be a picture of big trust written right across the board here. But what is trust? And so trust matters in every capacity in life. It matters in your personal relationships. It matters in your business relationships. So you can't have a business dealing and there be mistrust. The moment there's mistrust, now there's animosity, there's problems. If you don't trust the person that you're having business with, that's a problem. So certainly when we look at our dental office, you're trusting that I'm going to pay you next week for your services. And what I mean by that is, as a person here that works at the office, we're thinking that you trust that I'm going to pay you next week. You trust that we're doing things to keep the environment safe, meaning the work environment safe, not necessarily the ecological environment. You trust that we're doing that you're going to have a job next week. You trust that the people that you work with aren't going to stab you in the back or do something malicious to you. So trust is the cornerstone on which everything else is built. And when you have good trust, not only with us, but then you need to establish that trust with the patient. So that's where, we talk about everything from how you build trust in the patient is you do what you say you're going to do. So when you say, hey, we're going to do this, then you go do it, suddenly there's okay, they said this, they did that, and it works out. That's how you build trust. Our patients trust us. When they trust us, they send their friends and family because they can count on the fact that we're going to do things right. When they trust us, they pay their bill because they know they're not going to be swindled. When they trust us, they show up on time because they know we'll be ready for them because they trust that we will be. All of that stuff. So trust is the pillar on which everything else is built. And so you may not recognize this, but when I have a meeting, when I have a conversation with you guys here, I can have a conversation in my backyard with my kids, and I am watching what I say as far as I don't want to promise the kids we're going to the moon and not go to the moon. I got to be hey kids, when I tell them something, I sort of know we're going to do it. Hey, we're thinking of doing this. I don't tell them until I basically have the plans already made. Because when I don't do it, they're oh, you lied to me, or we said we were going to go to the movies and we didn't. So I've learned from my kids alone that you need to only let someone into information when it's time to let them into information. And so I really worry about those things when it comes to team, when it comes to kids. You can't tell someone and do something else, or say, hey, maybe we'll go, and then not do it. They don't want to hear that. So with your patients, watch what you're saying. If you're saying that tooth is going to be solved by this, you better solve it, or you better make up the solution for them, because they're trusting what you said is the right thing. You got to protect yourself. You got to say, hey, 95% of the time this works, that type of thing, to make sure that they're understanding there is a chance that it won't work. And make sure you have all that verbiage down, because when you say something, you better go do it, or it's not going to establish trust. So I always talk about these 4 things. Do what you say you're going to do. Say please and thank you. Finish what you start, and show up on time. And those are like, you do those 4 things, they're tremendous habits in life, but one of them is based solely on trust. Do what you say you're going to do. So that's the lesson for the week, and see you next week.